Hey, Tony here, Random Adventures 2.0. Just getting off a 10-hour shift. I got a call. Somebody needs transportation for their through hike, so we're gonna go pick them up and take them to where they need to go. Hey, it's Tony with Random Adventures 2.0, and we just picked up our hiker, and I want to just give you a little bit of backstory here, just how this worked out. Yesterday, we were down in Duncannon, we were filming because Elizabeth Perch was coming into town, and we'd been following her as a thru hiker, as you'll remember when I put the video out. I didn't have the video out yet, about to edit. As we were wrapping up and getting ready to leave, we just had dinner at the Doyle Hotel, talked to some other thru hikers, and one of them was Optimist. Mm-hmm. And I do have a little clip with him, but I said, hey, here's my number, just go ahead and just text me, because he has a Instagram, and we were going to connect, and I wanted to follow him along the trail. So we went back out to the car, and we're just closing up things, and I see this hiker coming through. And
cue karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke, and I didn't know that at the time yesterday. And she was coming into town, and it was about 7 o'clock, and you could tell she was rushing, and I said, hey, do you want a soda? And boy, she stopped in her tracks. And I said, I got Coke. And I said, I also have Mountain Dew. And she's like, oh, I'll take a Mountain Dew. And we gave her a Mountain Dew. Her friends hollered for her, and then she left, and we left. And I get a text message yesterday, late in the day, and says, hey, I'm Optimist. And he goes, hey, I've got a friend that really is looking for a ride. Do you shuttle? And I'm like, oh, I don't shuttle. Just started doing trail magic. So, but the more I thought about it, I didn't respond to him, and then all of a sudden I get a call from Karaoke. And so everybody, meet Karaoke.
Hello.
Yay. So you've hiked all the way up from Georgia.
I have. I started on March 20th.
March 20th. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Now, I've got to ask you how you got the name Karaoke.
Well, I'm always, if you come up behind me on trail, I'm singing, or I'm turning what you say into a song.
Really?
Yeah. So, and I'm not claiming I can sing well, I just do it. I'll put that disclosure.
Okay, should I ask you to give an example? Oh,
no. You want to keep viewers, right?
Yeah.
So we just want, we'll...
But you do have a YouTube channel as well?
I do. It's She Chases Highs.
She Chases Highs. All right. So I'm going to put that up on the screen here, so you guys can go ahead and subscribe to her and follow her as she makes her way to Katahdin. So yeah, but you've done about 1,150 miles, but you do have a headlamp on, and we do have to talk about that a little bit. Yeah. So we arranged, I just got off of work, I put a 10-hour shift in, and I'm so anxious to get there. So we set up that I would meet you at a particular spot on 325, parking area where you camp. So everything's good, I'm coming, and I text her this morning, hey, I'm on my way, and I get, alrighty. I pull in, and she's got her backpack all ready to go, and she has a headlamp on, and then you tell me
Yeah, so yesterday my plan was to go from it was Duncannon all the way to Clark Valley. There's a camping area right there at the spring, and I passed Peter Mountain Shelter. I was almost to the campground and realized that I left my electronics bag back at the shelter. So I had to turn around because I didn't know anybody that was at that shelter that could bring it. I had to turn around and go back to the shelter, and I figured I'd just stay there. So I had to leave the shelter at like 3 o'clock this morning to make sure I got down to the parking area so you can pick me up on time. So hence the headlamp.
Wow. So is there anything memorable, like, hey, maybe funny that happened on the trail? Because you've done, I mean, a lot of miles.
Yeah.
And you and I were just talking. You haven't taken a zero in 700 days.
Yes. Yeah.
Or 700 miles.
700, yeah.
Wow.
So I'm due for one. I think I've earned it.
Yeah, I know. I think you've earned it too.
I don't know. There's just been the stuff that happens on the trail. It's just you have weird conversations. You do weird things. I don't know. There's so much stuff like. And then sometimes it all just kind of blends together.
Yeah.
And
because you basically, it's, you know, the term rinse and repeat. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, you get up, you eat, you walk, you filter water, you eat some more, filter more water, eat, and then you camp, you get up and do it all the next day. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know who you were, but as we were talking a little bit before we turned the camera on, I watch Dino on the trail. I know my viewers have heard me say that multiple times recently. And you had said, hey, I was the one that had the tent stolen that Dino talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember watching that that show that Sunday night.
Yeah, that's me. Sorry, Dino, I haven't been keeping up.
Hey, Dino, we got karaoke, so she's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I haven't been updating. I just, because it's like I said, you get in a rhythm and a routine, you just go and.
Yeah.
But love Dino's show.
Oh,
he's awesome.
It's amazing, you know. Through watching his show too. I mean, that's how people like myself get to keep up with people, and it's just amazing. All the information. Like he was just talking about Pennsylvania last Sunday about the water caches. I mean, what have you experienced with that?
We have noticed, and we didn't know until we actually heard last night. I had service, so I was able to look, on my phone and stuff, and I read a post about what the ATC is trying to do, and basically where there supposedly has been water caches in the past, they haven't been there, and the water supplies are so limited through this section, and apparently that's because the ATC is banning that. They're trying to get laws in place to ban water caches, and unless the person is staying there with it the whole time.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
I think that is a little crazy because in my experience, there are sometimes gallon jugs that are left there, but then people always come back and get them.
Right.
Or they'll tie the gallon jugs through with a rope to a tree, so they're not just blowing around. And
that tying it around a tree, I did see that because we were watching Jay Wanders Out. He did the Arizona Trail, and we had hiked in Arizona back in 2019. My wife and I fell in love with Arizona, and we had watched him, and there was a couple places where I saw that technique where they tie the jugs together. Yeah.
I think it's kind of that just. I won't get into my we're gonna cut. I actually have a clappy board in the back. We should grab that. We're gonna stop this one.
Yeah, snap. All right. But so we're making our way. So you're gonna do a zero.
I am. I'm gonna zero.
And do a resupply.
And yes, I'm gonna resupply, and I'm gonna get my. I'm actually in my tent too. I'm returning. They sent me a replacement because the seam seal was coming off and my tent started leaking. So, Gosrinker's sending my replacement tent there as well.
Ah, got it. Well, I do have our Trail Magic stuff in the trunk, so we'll look through that too, because I got Spam and tuna packs,
yeah,
ramen noodles.
Yeah,
so,
all the good,
yeah,
the good hiker trash food.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Hiker trash food. Yep.
Yeah, over time, like I can imagine, you know, you've got to start getting pretty creative.
Oh yeah.
What's some of the creative, maybe cookbook ideas for if you wanted to be practice being a thru hiker? You know, come up with a cookbook, thru hiker's cookbook.
Oh,
that would be cool.
Hey, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah,
I think you're onto something with that.
That's my idea.
Yeah.
But I got to do the thru hike first. So.
My current, what I am like not sick of yet that I love is I have like, I get wraps, like I like the spinach herb wraps.
Okay.
And then I put 2 packs of like white meat chicken in it.
Yeah.
And then I carry a small Nalgene bottle that has like, it's called Complete Seasoning.
Okay.
And so I'll put my chicken down, I put a little bit of that Complete Seasoning, and then I have a packet of like taco seasoning. I sprinkle that on there.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, and then those French fried onions, have you seen those? Like,
yeah.
I put those on there for crunch, and then a little sriracha. I wrap it up and go and or eat it, and it's so good.
We're gonna call that the karaoke wrap.
Yeah.
Hey.
Karaoke chicken wrap. Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting into it.
Yeah.
Right. But the karaoke wrap, now nobody can steal that.
Nope.
That's going in.
I mean, y'all can make it. But
yeah. But you got to think of karaoke as you're eating it. Yeah. So, but you know, some of the things I was thinking, like, what inspired you to do the trail?
I've always been an outdoors person and a hiker and all that stuff. But then I learned about the trail many years ago, and then started watching people. And as everybody knows, Dixie, Homemade Wanderlust. Have you watched her?
Yeah. No, I haven't.
No, you haven't. Oh,
no.
well, she really got me. Like seriously, like this is something I'm definitely gonna do.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. So that's it.
Yeah. Oh wow. And then you just decided, hey, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, I was gonna originally do it this year, and then I moved from Florida to North Carolina for work, and I figured, okay, well I can't say, hey, I need 6 months off.
Right.
So I was gonna postpone until next year, and then I was out on a weekend trip, and I couldn't stop thinking about the trail, and I was like, you know, I'm not getting any younger. It's money, I'll make more. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
So I sold everything, and here I am.
Wow. And you know, one of the things that they say is, you know, or a lot of questions that I get is like, you know, how do you fund something like this, or like, what do you do? Like, I know, like balance, you know, and I guess that's different for everybody.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is you can plan a certain amount of money, but it's going to be a lot different than what you think.
Really?
So yeah, and plan for more than what you originally planned for. So say if you are only going to take $3,000, I'd add an extra $1,000 to that. You know, and because the biggest thing is resupply. Like your food and calorie, all that, your intake's going to change dramatically once you get in, you know, 400 or 500 miles. And also I'm finding too, as the further north we go, the more expensive things are.
Oh really?
Yeah, actually it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But so.
Yeah, it's too heavy to carry.
For sure.
From south.
Yeah, we don't like to carry more than 3 to 4 days at a time.
Yeah.
And
so that's, you know, good thing, Trail Magic.
Yes.
You know, that,
yeah.
I think that's some of the important.
You can't rely on that though.
No, you can't. And have you noticed a lot of Trail Magic though?
I recently I've had more than what I've had on the trail, because I leave so early in the morning. Like I leave camp early, so usually by the time I come through the popular gaps, the Trail Magic isn't set up yet.
Oh, God.
So I usually come through, you know, way too early. But
so the early bird doesn't get the worm?
No, not when it comes to Trail Magic.
Not with Trail Magic. Okay, everybody that's doing Trail Magic, you hear that? You gotta get out first.
Where's our breakfast trail magic?
Hey, there you go. You know, I was actually thinking of getting a griddle, like a small griddle, and doing eggs or something like that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I'd be doing that alone because I don't think my wife would get up that early.
Get up that early.
Yeah, no. That's why we've been going in the evening. You know, but one of the things that someone said, because when we first set up, you know, the first day, everybody was coming up out of Duncannon. We were at 225, and we're like, "Hey, do you need anything?" And they're like, "No, I just bought everything. I'm heavy right now."
Yeah.
I think it was Hiller had messaged me later that day and said, "Hey, look for a place that's coming into a town first.
Yeah.
Those will be popular areas where you can, if you have or want to have supplies that people can resupply with.
Yeah.
Then that'll help them that when they get to town they may not have to.
For sure. Yeah. And then sometimes, like, if you get, like, we have, you know, the apps, gut hooks, and, you know, different stuff like that, which we know, like, landmarks and stuff that are coming up, but it doesn't tell us, like, what the terrain is like. So we may look at it and it's nice and flat, like, well, to us flat.
Yeah.
You know, and so we're thinking, okay, well, we're gonna fly through this, but then, like, especially here in Pennsylvania, then, like, you look at it and you're like, oh man, we're gonna gain some miles, but then it's nothing but rocks. So then that puts us behind, and sometimes, you know, that'll throw you off a day, and so then you're stretching your food supply out. So, you know, it's good, like, too, like, when you come across trail magic in those odd gaps, you know, that aren't like you can't get off and go to a town, but it's still, you know.
Has there been a situation where you've had, like, you planned, hey, it's going to take me 2 days to get this place, and you found out it was 3 and you didn't have enough?
No, because I'm pretty good about, I always will, like, throw in one extra meal of some sort. Just, they say you pack your fears, but like, and I guess mine would be running out of food. I think that's the majority of us. Like, we worry about running out of food, but at this point, we kind of pretty much nail it down to what we need.
Well, you've had a lot of practice.
Exactly.
Yeah. So is there any gear that, like, gear failures that you thought, oh, I'm surprised this isn't holding up, or any gear that you're really glad that you have along with you?
My favorite piece of gear would be I have an outdoor research rain jacket, helium rain jacket. So it can double as my rain jacket, and then or a windbreaker, like if it gets a little chilly, you know, and it's, because I gotta have it. I mean, I guess I don't have to have a rain jacket, but it kind of serves dual purpose there.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I'm not like a complete ultralighter, but for the most part, I am. I've not had any gear failures, thank goodness.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's good. Well, we just when I was picking you up, we saw Legend. Yeah. And his
trekking poles broke, both of them.
Both of them. Yeah. Just coming down from 225.
Yeah.
And to
that doesn't surprise me, because, like, your trekking pole will get stuck in the rocks. Oh. Yeah, and then you'll try to, like, walk, and it'll snatch you backwards because it gets caught in between the two rocks.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, if it's gonna happen, this is probably the place it's gonna happen. Yeah.
And to think that he broke them back there, and that's not even the worst part of Pennsylvania yet.
No.
Yeah. Now, has it lived up to the hype that because the thru hikers that we've been watching and stuff, and then we heard, you know, about Rocksylvania. Now, we've never experienced it. I mean, we have experienced a little bit on the trail because we're doing trail magic. We'll also do a little bit of the trail too. Yeah. And it has been rocky. Yeah. You know, but one of my things is that a couple of the thru hikers that I've watched is that they get there, Pennsylvania, and then they get into New Jersey, and we're watching them, and they're like, oh, we're so thankful to be in New Jersey, and then I'm watching the video and I still see rocks. I mean, a lot of rocks, and some that they're actually rock climbing, scrambling rocks. And I'm going, hey, wait a minute, you were complaining about Pennsylvania. Why aren't you complaining about Jersey?
I'll tell you the difference. Okay, so rocks scrambling and climbing up rocks, that is 100% different. Like, that is fine. Okay. Yeah. But the problem with the rocks that we complain about is those small, sharp little boulders. So then you're trying to balance you're trying to find a rock that's not going to roll your ankle.
Yeah.
So then you can't pick up speed. You know, you have to constantly look down at the ground, so you can't see what's going on around you.
Yeah.
That's what gets exhausting. Now, big rocks, you know, that you just have to climb up.
Yeah, that's
a lot
fun.
easier. Yeah, that's fun. I love doing that.
Yeah.
But it's those little sharp boulders.
The gitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gitchy rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more, like I said, mentally exhausting than anything.
Yeah, because they're constantly looking down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you're worried about rolling an ankle and rocks jabbing you through your shoe.
Yeah. Now, I know somebody said, and I've heard this a couple times, they said, I think Dino mentioned this too. He says, if you're coming into Pennsylvania, make sure you got better shoes before you come into
for
PA.
sure.
Now, have you had to have any shoe changes yet?
I have. And back in I've always worn Lone Peaks, and I had the 4.5 Ultra Lone Peak 4.5, which I absolutely loved.
Yeah.
But then I was coming into Franklin, and I was having some foot issues, which we all do. And this guy recommended that I switch shoes, which I went from a 0 drop to, which means like, you know, just a flat sole.
Okay.
He put me in this other shoe that was a lot narrower, and I was like hobbling into the knock. And I called, I'm like, I can't handle it. I can't take these shoes are not going to work. Like, it's not going to happen. So I went and bought the Lone Peak 5s, and those lasted about 500 miles, and I just bought now the Ultra Temps, which they're a little more sturdy than the Lone Peaks, but I still like my Lone Peaks.
Yeah. So mileage wise, what do you say on average? Probably. I mean, because you're hiking around other hikers too. So do y'all have kind of like a basic average of what you think shoe replacement would be? Because that's probably something, you know, people are saying when they're planning their hike, they're going, oh yeah, I'll just get these shoes and they'll take me all the way to Katahdin.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Okay, so
I think with the Lone Peaks, the Ultra Lone Peaks, I think those last between 5, depends on what type of hiker you are, but I think they last between 500 to 700. That's been kind of the trend I'm seeing with everybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's pretty good. And Ultra actually will, they have like a warranty thing up to 500 miles. So if they...
kind of like tires.
Yeah.
That is cool.
If they break down before 500 miles, then they'll replace them for you.
Wow. You know, was a bug bite.
Yeah.
When we saw her up on 501, she had mentioned that she just changed her socks out, the Darn Tough socks.
Yeah.
I had not known that they had a warranty on them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is great.
Yep, the Darn Toughs.
Yeah, and I even said, hey, if Darn Tough wants to sponsor me, hello.
Yeah, hey.
Here I am.
Yep.
Darn Tough socks.
Yeah.
Throw that in there. All right.
Yeah.
But no, that's great. And we were at Kind of Outdoorsy yesterday, and they actually have the Darn Tough socks.
Yeah, they do. They'll switch them out for you there. Not all the outfitters will do that for you, but there have been some on the trail that will at least switch out, you know, one pair for you.
Oh, Betsy had a whole list, and she just had a box filled. Now, I was looking at it, she goes, yeah, no, this is my list from last week, this is my list from this week, and I've got more coming.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool when the outfitters do it, because it's hard for us, like, to nail down, like, okay, we're gonna have something shipped here, make sure we get there to pick it up. You know.
Yeah, so a couple of the hikers that we were following, a group of them, worth heading north, they just summited the other day, and he didn't put, I saw it up on the Appalachian Trail, I think his Facebook page or Instagram page, and I saw all their pictures and stuff, so I'm waiting for him to actually show. I think he's going to come out with it probably in another day or two, but he's from Florida.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a better way to get to it over here. Oh no, that's okay. But yeah, they just summited the other day, and I saw their picture. So I'm sure you're thinking about it.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
I just, when I get emotional thinking about it, like how it's gonna be not just because I just accomplished that and I made it, but then it's like the end. And it's, I think, I don't know if I'm more emotional about knowing that it's gonna be over, or that I actually did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got emotional at mile 100. I thought I was doing something big. Then,
oh, that is big.
Yeah, like
100's
but
big.
I mean, you think about it now.
Yeah.
In retrospect, like, you know, we're 1,200 miles in, almost 1,200 miles in, then it's like 100 was nothing.
Yeah, and
you know?
and in the beginning, you were doing how many miles a day?
I started out at 8 miles a day, and I
Okay.
kept myself at 8 to 10 miles a day for the first 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then I just slowly started upping it. Now I'm average about 25 to 26 miles a day.
25, 26 miles. You know,
Yeah.
that's a lot of the hikers that we've talked to recently said that that's about where they're at.
Yeah.
You know, on average.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's some that do more, some that do less, but but there's no way you can do that right out of the gate.
Oh no.
Oh my.
No, I mean, you could try it, but you're gonna wear yourself down, and that's just, I think, to me personally, I think it would lessen your chances of making it all the way. Because this, to me, you have to kind of look at this as more of a marathon. It's not like a race, because it doesn't matter. Like, I have background in backpacking and all that stuff, but it's totally different walking for 8 to 12 hours a day, every day for 5 to 6 months versus going out for 4 to 5 days at a time. You know, and I think you got to preserve your body, and you got to let it acclimate to, you know, that change.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But,
yeah, and that's probably some of the fears too, of, you know, in the beginning, like, I'm only doing, you know, 5-8 miles a day. Am I ever going to get there?
Yeah, a lot of people, and then they'll try to compete with other people, and then they end up getting hurt, and that's what unfortunately will take some people off the trail.
And that's where they say hike your own hike.
Exactly, you have to.
Yeah, and that's such a term you start hearing more and more, that you start looking into, or following people. You hear them, and I've seen it. You know, I've seen a couple of people that were hiking together early on, and it's just like they just don't hike on. And I'm sure, just like in a marathon, you start finding people that are in your same pace.
Yes.
And, and then you start hiking more with them, get to know them, and then that becomes your tramily. Yeah. So you have a tramily then?
I do. I do. Yeah. I don't have my original ones split. You know, they're, I think, just now like 800, 900. So
okay.
Yeah, they're pretty far behind, but I have a new little, you know, group, and we're all at the same pace, and it just works.
And that was some of the ones that I met the other day then. Optimist. Okay. So that's part of your tramily. You know, I think when I was talking to Optimist, he said, you know, you guys are a smaller group than what some of them are. Yeah,
there's like, some of them are like 7 to 8 people. Wow. And there's like, we just have a core of like 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. He did say, and it's easier to book places to stay.
It is, and hitchhike.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, hitchhiking, that was fun.
Yeah. So what'd you think of the car ride?
It was great.
Yeah, now that you've been in the car again, right?
Yeah, it's weird when we first get in, because it's like, you know, we're used to going slow and like in the woods, and you're like, every time.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So, real quick.
More than appreciative. That you brought me.
No, this has been a blessing for me, and it's been great. And I just want to say that we're at the Walmart, because she's going to go ahead and resupply before she gets to the place where she needs to go here tonight.
We love a Walmart, but we don't like the crowd.
Yeah. You know, that's true. You know, just real quick about crowds. You know, is it a little anxious? You know, since you've been in the woods?
Oh, for sure. Like I was telling you earlier, like when I came into Harper's Ferry. Yeah. I went to the ATC, and then I had to go to the post office to pick up a box, and then you have to walk through town. The trail goes like through town, and people were everywhere, like just zooming by. I've never felt so overwhelmed, and like just so much anxiety. Like I just wanted to get out of there. There's way too many people. Wow. Yeah. Wow. I didn't like it.
Get me back in the woods.
That's it, please.
Yeah, please.
Where's my green tunnel? Yeah.
Right. Well, I want to say, you know, thank you very, very much. I greatly appreciate that, and we're gonna be following you the whole way.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and
definitely gonna. I'll send you a postcard with my Katahdin picture
yes.
on it. Yeah.
Oh, that will be our first postcard.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. Well, we're gonna definitely keep in touch. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and just say hit like and subscribe. I'm trying to get good at that.
Yeah, I know.
Hit like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Because it actually, really, please hit like and subscribe. Now I'm begging. But hit like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. It just helps. And go over to Karaoke's site, and you want to say that site one more time? I am going to put it. I put it up on the screen again.
It is She Chases Highs.
Absolutely.
Mountain highs.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. And just clarifying.
Yeah.
But you have how many videos up if they want to take a look?
I don't even know at this point. And
yeah.
I'm not a videographer. I do it as just, you know, kind of, I started it as for family and stuff. And and so I don't do a lot of editing, you know, so what you see is what you get. That's
absolutely
real.
No, and that's,
there's some emotional videos on there.
Is there really?
I had my first little kind of breakthrough moment.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah, what you see is what you get.
Good. Well, I'm looking forward to going back and watching them,
well,
and catching up. Yeah,
I appreciate it.
All right, well, we'll see ya. And don't forget, you know, hit like and subscribe, and remember, it's just one adventure at a time. Right. So, if anything, I'll add it all to the bloopers.
Oh, yeah.
Like our whole conversation, bloopers.
We have no idea
I have no idea. But, so, hey, it's Tony.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh, boy, yeah. We're going to call that the karaoke wrap.
Yeah.
Hey.
Karaoke chicken wrap.
Okay, now we're getting into it.
Yeah.
Right?